Hi everyone, welcome to Code Kamkaj YouTube channel. I hope everybody are doing good. In the last video, we have seen how we can deploy a machine learning model by applying the machine learning operations principles, and we have seen how we can deploy our code which we have dockerized and later we deployed into Kubernetes for orchestration, and we exposed to the end user. So, today we are going to discuss about few things which you might felt that, hey, why did you do this in that video? Why did you take those examples and why you haven't? There are a few things to be clarified. That's why I thought to add a video along with that video as an add-on to the manual deployment. We have seen where we have if you go to our source code, if you see we have the app.py data collection, we have taken raw data and all. So now I'm going to clarify a few doubts which you might get into the while we watching the manual deployment. The first question is that there is no any data pipeline, which is ETL, extract transform load. That's true, just because of not making it complicated. So I have taken a raw data, which is in data collection. You can use any type of ETL. There are a bunch of ETL tools are available in the market. And I'm going to give a hint that in the upcoming videos we will discuss about how we can use the Snowflake to data collection and doing all the data engineering task. That's the first thing that you may get this question. Hey, why do you take a raw data? So the only reason to not make this video complicated, I have taken a raw data in my data collection.py file. That's the first question that I would like to clarify. The second question, why exposed all the machine learning stages into the series? So since if I print all the all the stages in CLI, it can be hard you to understand if you're a beginner to machine learning operations, and that's why what I have done, I have exposed each method as get each method as a HTTP method, so I can show those all the response as JSON on browser. That's why I've exposed each and every stage on the browser instead of printing all the things on the CLI. Other than this, there is no any other method. So that's the reason. So even I have exposed the prediction. So usually prediction is the method where you can give to the end user. So it can be any, you can call this prediction with any other name, like it can be getting values or prediction, any name you can use it, once you expose that. So it's up to your requirement, but that's the only reason. I just would like to make you more easy to understand the entire flow of machine learning methods. So that's the only reason I have exposed all the machine learning stages as a method in the Flask, framework. And the next is where is hyperparameter tree. Since this is a very basic machine learning projects, that's why I have not tuned, and even I have not care about what is the accuracy of our model. So that's the reason I have not been used hyperparameter tuning in the pipeline. But yeah, in upcoming session we will be integrate the hyperparameter tuning into our this series, and we will see how we can dynamically get those hyperparameter tuning. And the next, where do you store the machine learning models, and where do you store the machine learning experiments? So this part, we haven't covered in this the last deployment that we have done in the manually. So usually you can use ML flow, you can use any gen ML or to store your machine learning models in your experiment metrics and all. And even you can use the GitLab to store your even Docker images. You can use it and you can store your machine learning models. But yeah, to make you understandable, so I haven't used most complicated things, so I went very basic thing of deployment. But yeah, in upcoming session we'll bring these 2 points into the series, and we will see, we'll integrate all those model storages into a CI/CD pipeline. The next thing is no continuous monitoring. Since you have deployed and there is no any continuous monitoring into it, so continuous monitoring is the best principle that when your machine learning model went into the production. But in our case, we are beginners, that is just we would like to deploy it and we would like to see how it is getting request and response as per when the user data is communicating to the machine learning model. So that's the only thing. So yeah, it's a best practice to keep your keep your monitoring on top of your machine learning, because it will be more usual you to understand how your machine learning model is getting trained with the new data, and how it's giving a accurate prediction. And the last thing, which Kubernetes cluster did you use? Tick. So it can be, you can ask GPUs and CPUs, because like, since you are dealing with the machine learning models, you required amount of GPUs to get supported. So in each cloud it gets supported by GPUs of Kubernetes. So if you choose any like Amazon Elastic Kubernetes service, so it is giving the GPU instances like P2, P3, G4, and you can use take off advantages. And even Google Kubernetes engine is giving the which is nodes which have GPU enabled. Even Azure Kubernetes service is giving it's providing the GPU accelerator VMs that we can use for AKs, which is Azure Kubernetes service. And on premises, that you can set up your own cluster with your GPU nodes if you're managing your own infrastructure on your hand. So it's up to you, recommend you can enable it. But yeah, it's good practice to enable the GPUs on top of it to make more performance faster. Like if you have the bunch of data and you would like to perform all the machine learning models with the millions of data, so your system will be getting headaches. So that's why it's best practice to use the GPUs instead of CPUs. So that's all that I would like to cover up in this video. So the I have missed few points, like where it is pointing to add in the explanation, but the only reason that I didn't make more complicated, because few people may come up from the non-IT background, or few people just has started learning MLOps. So that's the reason I haven't done much more complicated to make explaining all those things. But yeah, so I'll keep making the videos on this series of MLOps, and I'll keep adding the tools where you can use of machine learning operations by applying the DevOps principles and all. So that's all feel for this lecture, like adding on of this machine learning manual deployment into Kubernetes. If I miss something which I haven't covered in this video, feel free to drop your comments in this video comment section. I'll reply back on this same. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. Share to the people who willing to learn the machine learning operation and the stuff. Until then, thank you. Bye bye.